Man, I'm tired of seeing these fat monsters, and no, I'm not talking about the slightly overweight individuals who eat a couple donuts here and there. I'm talking about these enormous cyclops, like problematically fat. I'm talking about the ones that use motor vehicles while shopping at stores. Like, if you have to sit down just to pick up groceries in a grocery store, you really need to rethink your life decisions. I'm talking about the big wolves that walk past you while you're on an airplane and they almost snap your leg in half. Or the ones that can't even go up 2 flights of stairs to the living room without calling Auntie Val. Bro, do you think I'm joking?
When I seen the stairs, I immediately knew I wasn't going to be able to go up them.
And no, I'm not talking about the decently overweight people. You will know if I'm talking to you, I promise. You're good for now. We're talking about the fat wolves. But this video is not dedicated to put fat people down. It's to stigmatize the idea that being a big monster is healthy and okay. Because there's been a movement going on that obese people are fine how they are and they should keep eating. Body positivity was never meant for being unhealthy to the point of morbid obesity. It was for scars, acne, eating disorders, etc. Not for people who are massively unhealthy to stay unhealthy. I'm here to tell them to knock that off. This video is also intended to encourage and motivate them fat individuals because their lives are on the line. Like, seriously.
She died.
You ready to get super sized?
She died too.
Today I got the big Fruit Loop.
He's dead.
Join me on my Fat Positive radio show.
Which didn't last long because she died.
Dying from being fat is the most American thing ever. I remember buying a bottle of water at the gas station when a 250-pound, 3-foot-tall USPS gremlin spotted my water. And when I was walking away from the register, she said to the clerk, "Ew, plain water is gross." Bro, I looked at her like, bro, what? It's just regular water. Ew, it's gross. Let's talk about why being a big monster is not optimal in terms of living a good life. I mentioned earlier the fact that my leg almost got snapped in half while a big monster was entering my aisle on the airplane. And that's no joke. Like, it should never get to the point where your body weight is interfering in people's personal space. That is not healthy at all. You know what being healthy means to me? Not dying in 3 years due to heart failure and clogged artery. First bite takes you to heaven, next bite you are in heaven. But Cardi, like, why do you care so much? Just leave fat people to their own devices. Live your life and let them live theirs. Bro, I for sure would if it wasn't affecting me. Common places to be at, like movies, airplanes, etc., are a burden to not only your big self, but to people like me. Like, come on, bro. The fact that this same tragic event, that my leg being almost snapped in half because of a big monster who was trying to get by me, happened at the movie theaters too, is insane. I'm going to go down the list of reasons why being fat sucks. Number 1, the fact that you literally get out of breath from merely walking is ludicrous. Cardi, you're just making this up. No fat person runs out of breath from walking.
I'm fat and I hate it. Very unpopular opinion in the body positivity community. Because being fat is so uncomfortable. Clothes don't fit properly. You get out of breath while walking.
I have never thought about the fact that if I sit on a piece of furniture that it might break. To go around your daily life hoping the item you're sitting on doesn't fold you like a lawn chair is insane. Cardi, no fat person is walking around here thinking that.
Some of us are afraid they're gonna break the furniture. And how crazy is that? Especially those like plastic chairs. Think about all that. How can you say that being fat is okay? Like, it is okay. No one should be ashamed for that. But like, it's so uncomfortable. Let's not be delusional. It sucks.
Number 3, the Seattle Fat Con. Can't believe that this was a serious event. They were only allowed to host this event on the bottom floor in the convention center for no apparent reason. Come on, bro. Having the floor break, the literal floor, is absolutely ridiculous. Number 4, even entertainment events such as stadiums, concerts, or festivals are a big concern if you're a big monster. Sometimes you'll be lucky enough to be stopped by an employee to stop you from getting on a ride if you're too big. Other times the staff becomes a little too nice and allows this to happen.
But you see how like the normal weight people are like staying there? Like, they have no issue just holding on. But the big monsters, that's what happens if you're a big monster. Look at the big monster.
Number 5, dating. You begin to start narrowing down your potential boyfriend/girlfriend options because now you can only look at other fat people. Do you ever see a normal weight or fit person with an obese person? Never. You may find like 1 or 2 on the internet doing it for clout, but that's an anomaly and it's fake. You never actually see it in your day-to-day life.
It also sucks mentally. You're so big that you're becoming invisible. Ironic, right? People, and especially men, just don't look at you. They pretend you don't exist. They don't make eye contact. I'm just walking down the street and it literally feels like I'm wearing invisibility clothes. If I walk on the street and look at a man, just randomly, you know, without any agenda, they immediately turn their head away, just so I don't think that they fancy me.
Also, you can't even do the same cute romantic things that couples do when they're in love. You can't pick up your wife because she weighs 500 pounds.
I ain't even gonna lie. You look like you can pick me up. I've been staring at you. You look real strong.
I ain't that strong.
I mean, would you try? Huh? Would you?
You can't do piggyback rides while being crushed to death. You can't twirl her around while her knocking you down. You can't sweep her off her feet and kiss the bride because she's too heavy. You can't even do a full hug from behind because her stomach's too big. Go hiking, go on trails, kayaking without sinking the boat, harnesses for rock climbing, late night walks without stopping every 5 minutes, go to Rolling Loud, going down a slide. Cardi, I'm a big monster. I go down slides all the time. Okay, but the fact that this can be a potential scenario is crazy.
Look at this. Come on, bro. At a whole get together.
Number 6, take shared Ubers without suffocating the passenger right next to you. Number 7, and this one is really crazy. You can't even receive medical help sometimes because you're too damn big for the medical equipment. Some medical devices like blood pressure cuffs, MRI machines, or examination tables may not accommodate larger bodies. Imagine being denied to receive help because of your weight. Also, a lot of the times, doctors' first go-to is to blame your weight on why you probably came in that day, regardless of what you probably have. Number 8, workplace environments are not inclusive for big monsters. Work is already treacherous enough, but the fact that you can't even be fully comfortable because you're too damn big for the office chairs, uniforms, and desk is outrageous. Number 9, the social stigma. You can't do anything if you're fat. I remember being in middle school and high school. If a fat kid did anything, people would clown them instantly. Look at that big monster eating a salad. You know he never does that. Look at his big self running. Look at that fat dude dancing. Bro, I'm telling you, fat people can't just be happy. I'm aware that big people need to be shown more love than hate in order to change, but why don't we just avoid all that and just hit the track so we don't have to deal with any of that? You can't change the world, but you can change yourself. Number 10, breathing problems. Obesity can make it harder to breathe, potentially leading to conditions like asthma and respiratory distress. Number 11, poor mental health. A study suggests a link between obesity and an increased risk of depression and anxiety disorders. Also, obesity poses significant health risks, including a chance to develop type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, sleepomania, certain cancers, and joint problems. Beyond physical health, obesity can also negatively impact mental health and quality of life, leading to depression, lower self-esteem, and social isolation. I really want to talk about delusion. There are many content creators out here preying on your downfall. They say misery loves company, and that is very apparent here. These content creators are promoting obesity, but it'll be crazy work if crackheads start promoting drugs, right? Meaning that both can lead you to a premature demise. Like, look at what this fat girl had to say about the word healthy.
Said to me, well, have you eaten? And I said, yeah, I had some pizza earlier. And they said, you need to eat something like a bit more healthy. Now, there are a few words that I don't allow when somebody comes into my house, and healthy is one of them.
Fat content creators are begging companies to expand sizes in which they sell clothes. I'll be mad for real if I built a clothing business from the ground up and I'm forced to make extra clothes for these big monsters, messing up my revenue and stuff. They're even asking airlines and transit companies to provide seat extenders, offer larger seats, and update policies to prioritize accessibility.
My body isn't the problem, the system is. When you're forced to buy 2 seats or squeeze into a space that wasn't designed for your body, it's not just inconvenient, it's dehumanizing. This isn't a luxury, it's a basic human right to travel with dignity.
Jalen has launched a GoFundMe to advocate for fat equality and offers helpful tips on how plus-size travelers can travel safely and comfortably.
You deserve to be comfortable, you deserve to get there and not affect your health in some crazy way.
I'm sorry, buddy. If you're built like a sumo wrestler, I promise you're not getting a reasonable seat for your body. Also, they have a weight limit for luggage on the flight. So does that mean they also have a weight limit for a body? I gotta figure that out, bro. But damn, bro. Like, just go running. You won't have to ask these dumb requests. Fat monsters are always saying it's genetics. Well, how come back in 1950, only 10% of Americans were actually obese, compared to now where 41% of Americans are extremely overweight? That's almost 1 in every 5 adults. What? Ain't that insane? Like, what happened to us? Okay, but like, let's talk about my childhood and why I'm not obese. Granted, by the way I eat, if I didn't like sports, I would probably be overweight because you would not see me hop on that treadmill. I'm sorry, I know. No sir, bop. But me enjoying playing basketball is a cheat code because it doesn't even feel like I'm working out when I am. Hence is the reason why I can lose weight quickly, because I could play basketball for like 6 to 7 hours without even thinking about it, which I have before. Also, I was a very active kid growing up. I was always playing outside during recess. I always participated in PE like running or dodgeball or any type of activities for that easy A in that class. That was counterbalanced with the fact that I ate majority sweets growing up and fast food. I'm from Africa. If you're obese, that's just called being selfish. But let's talk about the fat acceptance movement. So if you didn't know, the fat acceptance movement, also known as size acceptance or body positivity, is a social movement that seeks to challenge stigma, discrimination, and negative stereotypes associated with larger body sizes. In shorter words, you need to accept fat people, and here's where I come into play. If you're fat, I'm all about recognizing and acknowledging that big monsters are overweight and that sensitivity levels are a bit higher, so putting them down in terms of like name calling or verbal abuse is not the best way to solve this issue. A better way is to encourage, care for, and welcome them into gym facilities with no judgment. Although some people can take tough love, many people aren't built like that. Instead, opt for showing genuine love and concern and tell them that they got this. Yes, being fat is not an optimal state of being, and if you go against that belief, you're the problem. Yes, there are serious medical reasons and regular life reasonings of why some people are huge. Also, things like if you're a single mother working 2 jobs with 3 kids, life can get stressful and overwhelming sometimes. But let's be honest, most of you guys are obese out of your own self-harm. Overeating and not prioritizing fitness. Going to the gym is only 4% out of your day. It's only 30 minutes a day. But in conclusion, thank you for staying until the end of the video. I hope my point came across in a loving and comedic way. We all battle addictions every day, whether it's candy, social media. Let's encourage one another to have empathy. And thanks for watching. Until next time. Wait. Subscribe and follow my Insta and join the Discord, please. Alright, peace. This is why being fat sucks.